Hello, everyone. Welcome in, friends. Hi, it's good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome back to Transmissions from the Cave. I hope you're having a really good Wednesday so far. This is a particularly special Transmissions from the Cave because it is my first time hosting one of our release parties. So we get to turn up a little bit today. We're still going to be interviewing. It's going to be similar, but instead of talking about something that we hope you'll get your hands on someday, we get to talk about something that you could get your hands on today and giving away a copy of it, which is extra exciting. Very much looking forward to our lovely guests today. You've met one of them before if you've been here for the streams. Ennun has returned, but this time we get to talk about the book here. But let's get into it a little bit. First of all, what do we have that's new from Mad Cave this week? It's Needle and Thread. Needle and Thread is what we are talking about today. You're going to learn all about that, and that's all that matters right this second. Our guests today are Ennun Iurov. Ennun is a Romanian illustrator who will have her first professionally published graphic novel, Needle and Thread, releasing under the Maverick imprint of Mad Cave this fall. For over 6 years, Ennun has created and self-published short comics and stories focusing mainly on empowering charity zines, working with organizations such as Action Against Hunger and others. Ennun's illustration skills have a vast range from folktales, dreamcore to horror, and beyond, and you might have seen some of those incredible illustration skills on a stream just a few weeks ago. We also have David Pinckney, which I am so excited to have on for the first time with me. David Pinckney is a comic book writer and screenwriter, having written his own creator-owned comics like Fight Like a Girl, published by Action Lab Entertainment, and Forged, legendary crafts and delivery services. David has developed a passion for creating new characters and worlds in addition to his own comics. David has written for Princeless, Time Samplers, and today will have his first young adult graphic novel, Needle and Thread, releasing under the Maverick imprint with Mad Cave Studios. That's this one. I'm very excited. I can literally see them having a lovely time behind the scenes, so I cannot wait to bring them in right now. They're sitting on my Zoom call. Of course, we are doing a giveaway. We are going to be giving away a copy of Needle and Thread, but something different is with a mystery item. And when I say mystery, I mean not even I know what the item is. We are giving away not only a copy of the book we're talking about today, but a bonus little mystery item. So I'm very excited about that. We will run that giveaway during the interview at some point. That is open to US participants only. I apologize for that. As always, we want to remind you to lend your support if you can to Bink. Bink is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to assisting booksellers in need. The Bink Foundation grew out of a wish for bookstore employees to establish a fund to help their colleagues experiencing unexpected financial crises. Bink is dedicated to assisting bookstore and comic store employees across the United States in their greatest times of need, and now is a pretty great time of need. So if you can lend your support, ! Bink, it's already right there in the chat. You can click on that to go and see how you can get involved and what you can do and donate if you can. I do have a trailer to show you for Needle and Thread before we bring our lovely guests in, of course. I love the trailers. They get me super hype. I get excited to watch them right before we go live. I sit there with them for a few minutes and just absolutely vibe on these trailers. And then we'll sit down for an interview, of course. We'll be here for about an hour chatting and getting to know some of the incredible creatives behind this. So that's everything I have for you from the beginning. Without further ado, let's check out Needle and Thread, and I'll see y'all in just a minute.
Yo, this is your boy, Hiroki, coming at you live from Green Lake High. At the top of the food chain, we got Azuri. She has the dopest clothes, the coolest friends. She's even the head cheerleader. I mean, this girl's got it all. Then there's my guy Noah. He's definitely not at the top of the food chain, but he's my best friend. He likes to do weird stuff like watch old monster movies, read comics. My man even sews his own clothes. Crazy, right? He's got this dream of working in film, making costumes. I don't know. Could be kinda cool. But his parents don't seem to dig it. I know he's applying for Stonewell anyway. Hope he gets in. I just don't want to see my boys sad, you know? Like, it's senior year. It's supposed to be the best year of our lives. Anyway, I gotta get to class. Hiroki out?
Hello, we are back and welcome in David and Ennun. Oh, hold on. They're swapped in the overlay. Just a moment, y'all. I can fix this. Boop.
Oh.
That's my bad. There we go. One more time. David and Ennun.
I am David now.
Yeah, right?
I'm
That's
Marshall.
okay. We got this. I can fix anything. It's magic. A little bit of live stream magic. So welcome in, y'all. If you would start, let's start with David. As I've never gotten to speak with you before, would you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and what you do?
Yeah, well, I'm David Pinckney, and I wrote Needle and Thread, and I've done other comics and web comics as well. And yeah, all things writing, essentially.
Awesome. All things writing. That's an impressive span of things.
That's a lot of things. It might make it sound like way more things, but it's like two things. I needed to sound impressive.
I mean, two things is still very impressive, and a happy release day to you.
Yeah, thank you.
And Ennun, welcome back. Would you tell, for those who weren't here last time, a little bit about you as well?
Hello, I am Ennun. I am an artist, concept artist, now comic artist. Ooh. And I'm here a lot, so hi.
And once again, I will point out, like, we do have matching headphones.
Yes.
Nice.
I have to remind everybody every time.
Nice. David, you need to get a pair too now.
Yeah, mine are just kind of like boring, just black earbuds.
You know, the cat ears really do something. It's a confidence boost. It's fun.
Yeah, maybe
I
next
recommend it. I do. It's a very good time. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be here on release day.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. This is the big day. How do you both feel?
Excited.
I'm pretty excited, pretty nervous, but mainly excited.
Is there any particular part of it you're most nervous for?
I think just the fact that this is the first Mavericks book. Like, this is the first one coming out the gate, kind of like, I guess, in some fashion sets some amount of precedent, you know, and so, you know, from that point of view, it's like a little nerve-wracking. But I'm still excited about it. I think we did good.
On the flip side of that, is there a part that either of you are most excited for, or both of you are most excited for?
To get the books in my hands.
Yeah, that's exactly my answer. Just to actually hold it, see it in person.
Yeah, I bet that's going to be really interesting. I know it's in the mail. It's coming. It's coming soon.
Yeah.
It's very soon. Very excited. Absolutely. And how long has this process been for y'all? How long have you been working on Needle and Thread?
I think I was contacted by Chris, our editor, in like June of 2019 or something like that, June, July area. Okay. And then, you know, I turned in my script at the tail end of 2019, maybe early 2020. So it's been like 2 years now.
Wow. That's a long process on it. And how long have y'all been connected working on it?
I think since I joined.
Yeah.
So when did you join the project?
When it kicked in last year?
Last year?
Or
so
no,
like, mostly quarantine for y'all then, right?
Yeah, I talked with Chris in like October or something of, what was it, 2020? But then I actually but then I actually started working in like December or something like that. So it's pretty much since last year, let's say.
Okay. Awesome. So it's been entirely in quarantine. Have y'all ever met in person?
No. I'm on the other side of the planet.
Yeah,
so
we're on like
hard.
2 different countries, so.
Yeah, of course, that's very difficult. That's so interesting.
There's an ocean between us.
How has remote work been for your process? Has it been different? Or do you feel like mostly you kind of work solitary anyways?
I mean, I guess for me, it wasn't too bad, mainly because Chris was kind of the middleman. So like I would turn in a thing and then he will give me feedback and he'll pass things along, and, you know, vice versa. You know, anytime that we had got any artwork, he'd show it to me and there'd be some feedback. Yeah, I mean, it was actually pretty easy, at least on my end. I don't know about you.
Pretty easy for you, Ennun?
Kinda, cause like I mostly work remote anyway.
Right.
So I was pretty used to it.
Yeah. Okay. In y'all's own words, how would you describe Needle and Thread? Let's get into it.
Which one of us wants to go first?
I vote David.
Okay. All right. So Needle and Thread kind of at its heart is about two high school students, Noah and Azuri, who come from two completely different walks of life, who have this chance run-in and kind of realize that each of them have something the other kind of personally wants in terms of just like their life and their development. And their kind of social circles around them don't necessarily like the things that they do, primarily centered around sewing and just general nerd stuff. Mm-hmm. So the two get together and they decide to show the world like what they're made of through the power of friendship and cosplay. And that's Needle and Thread.
The power of friendship and cosplay is such a good tagline.
I think it's pretty good.
That's so good. Wow. Yeah, you should keep that one.
I think I will. I feel
like I've made a lot of friends that way. That's excellent. Do you have anything to add to that, Ennun?
I think that pretty much catches the essence, let's say.
How would you summarize the visual style of it then?
The visual? Oh, God. I don't know. It's like cutesy, I'd say. Because that's kind of my style. Simple but detailed. I don't know. An acquired taste, maybe.
It's beautiful, and a lot of people got to see it in that trailer that played, and there was a bunch of lovely comments about the art style and how lovely it's come out and looked. So people were very excited about that, including me. Who are each of your favorite characters in the book, and why?
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Yes. My favorite is actually one of the side characters, Hiroki. He's Noah's best friend, and I absolutely love him.
That's my answer.
Yeah?
Hiroki's my favorite, and as I was kind of like working on him and his dialogue and whatnot, I was just kind of like, I know it's about Noah, but Hiroki, you're the best.
Honestly,
it's important to have that excellent support character, and that starts out really strong. Like as soon as you pick up the book, you recognize that like this is the excellent like supportive best friend that everybody wants to have and deserves.
Honestly, he's great. He's so quirky and weird. Yeah. I love him.
Absolutely adorable. 100%. I love that y'all have the same answer for it. And I feel like that shows. I think that's going to be a lot of people's favorite character because I can agree with that. For you, David, where did you draw inspiration from for these characters? Are they reflections of people that you know?
I don't know if anyone's like, any one character is like based off of like one person that I know, right? Mm-hmm. I think most of the characters are based off of, or I draw my inspiration from is just kind of just an amalgamation of kind of people that I knew over the years and currently know, especially when I kind of look into like certain like archetypes of characters and whatnot. And then like in the case of like Hiroki, I kind of drew inspiration from just basically any medium that had like the best friend, right? Yeah. Where like, how do I make this character like how do I make a character that I'm like, if I meet you, like we have to become friends. So yeah. Kind of like drawing from like different games and comics and movies that do kind of have that best friend archetype. I kind of like pull from those and kind of tweak them a little bit. And then again, like I said, just, some characters have like a hint of like, like, oh, this is like, my friend so-and-so, and this person is definitely like my mom, these kinds of things that I kind of like pull in and to like kind of flesh out.
Now, when you say your mom, is mom character a little based on your mom?
Yeah, maybe a little. I can't confirm or deny, but a little bit. There's definitely a little bit in there.
That's
really cute.
It is. It's really cute. The parental relationship with the characters is very interesting and complex in this, so it makes perfect sense. And did you always want to do this, or when you were younger, did you know what kind of like career you wanted to pursue?
I don't think I ever knew I wanted to do comics per se, because I actually did not get into comics until college. Like it was like, I didn't grow up with comics essentially.
Okay.
So, but I knew I wanted to do something like creative. I always thought I would end up doing something in gaming, but one thing led to another, and now my day job is development, but now being able to do like comics and stuff like that on the side has been pretty nice.
That's amazing. And Ennun, I know that we've kind of talked about this before, but for people who weren't here, what about you?
When I was younger, for the longest time, so like until maybe 1 year before high school, I was convinced I was going to go into fashion. And then like in 12th grade, I was like, actually, I kind of like drawing. So I don't know. I don't like sewing. I like just designing clothes.
That does make needle and thread kind of perfect for you.
I know, right? It's like the perfect mix.
Everyone in needle and thread is like super fashionable, so it kind of makes sense.
Of course. Absolutely. Takes a fashionable artist.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's awesome. But really though, it like does like you can see your passion in it, and that's so awesome. And this is kind of wild that it all came together in that way. Speaking of the parents in the comic, were your parents supportive when you decided you wanted to pursue art and writing?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, my mom's always been, very supportive in all the things that I wanted to do in terms of like creative, outlets and whatnot. She definitely had a thought process of like, but still go get your software engineering degree. But
right, and the mom is legally distinct and definitely not your mother in this story.
Exactly. Just in case she's seeing this, legally distinct.
Right.
Sure.
But yeah, she's always been like, anytime I wanted to do something, like, when I told her I'm doing all this comics stuff, she was always like, cool, go for it. I'll support you however I can. So yeah, I mean, it's been, I guess I was lucky in that fashion.
That's wonderful. Was there a school similar to where Noah and Azair go, where you grew up? Was there anything like that? Or where you went to school, was there any kind of similar programs?
Man, I wish my school looked the way their school does.
Yeah, their school looks a lot better than mine. I mean, my school, like, we did have like clubs and cheerleading and like that sort of thing, but I do think that I would have preferred the school in needle and thread.
Honestly. I don't know, like my high school had a bunch of clubs, but none of them really this type. Like there was a lot of nerdy stuff. Well, I mean, it was a computer high school, so very nerdy, but not that kind of nerdy.
Wow.
So, but it was so like, I went to a private high school, but the building was really old. But after I graduated, like 2 years later or something, they moved to a building that actually looks a bit similar to the one that I drew, which is what I actually use for inspiration.
Oh, how wonderful.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
it looks so
cool.
nice. I was like, couldn't you do this when I went to school, man? Like
yeah, right? Look at how easy it would have been to fix this up.
Yeah.
Just a little improvement here and there. That's so funny. Now, you guys really do focus in on this like beautiful and relatable story of high school. Were your friends in high school anything like the characters in this story, or what were your friend groups like?
I would say
I want an image of what David in high school was.
A mess.
Same.
So I would say that I had like a spectrum of friends. So there were some that were nerdy. But I guess they were all nerdy in some fashion. But we had some that were like, the ones I clicked with the most were the ones who were like, I'm playing D&D with on the weekends. And then, I had a lot of friends who were like very like, music centric and stuff like that. So I don't think
I've always got dice in your bag.
You always have to have dice. You never know
Nice.
a DM's gonna show up.
Exactly. And if somebody else roll initiative, I'm gonna be ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. I respect that.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I would say that my friend group, there's like some pieces of needle and thread that match my friend group. But I will also say that a lot of the characters in Needle and Thread, I do kind of like heighten a little bit, you know, for the to kind of like get the story across and whatnot. So as far as like characters like, you know, Margot and whatnot, I did not really interact with anyone that is just that abrasively hostile. But you know, there were, you know, people in school that were, you know, nicer, and some people who weren't as nice. So
yeah,
a little mix.
And what about for you, Ennun?
I don't know. I think because I was friends with pretty much everyone in my class and most people in my year. So
you're saying you were popular?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I was the popular kid.
Goodness, yeah, I didn't know that we were hanging out with popular kids today. I would have dressed up.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Right?
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I think the people I tended to get closest with were more of the alternative kids. Something like that. So like people not a lot of people wanted to hang out with. I don't know how that happened, but you know, they're always the more, I guess, interesting people, and that's why I just gravitated towards them.
And what can we get a painted picture of alternative high school Ennun then?
Oh, I don't know. It's pretty much the same. And drawing all the time.
Yeah.
Much to my teacher's dismay. I literally I had my notebook, and then right next to it I had my sketchbook, and when I wasn't writing, I was drawing.
That's awesome.
It was really fun. After the first week, they stopped telling me to stop drawing. They were just like, whatever.
You just gave up.
Yeah. Which was good news for me. I needed a portfolio, man.
Yeah, right? Hey, you could be doing way worse things in high school.
Honestly.
Tons of worse things. As you mentioned earlier, the power of cosplay and friendship. Do either of you cosplay, or have you?
Not really.
I've not really done it a lot. I did it like 2 or 3 times, and then I quickly realized like that's not my skill set. It's fun, but that's not my skill set.
It's a very specific skill set.
Yeah. We
all wrote about it like you know it. As someone who cosplays, I was like, absolutely, this was high school version of me cosplaying.
I did have a lot of friends, or still have a lot of friends that cosplay. So like, even if I'm not cosplaying, I've been on plenty of like, you know, times where I'm hanging out with people like, okay, let's just go to this thrift shop and just find things. Like I've been a part of the process.
Yeah. That's cool.
I'm just kind of like a fly on the wall while I watch my friends do it.
Right. Nice. And now with your love for fashion design and fashion, I feel like cosplay would be excellent for you.
Honestly, like, I think my problem is that I don't necessarily want to wear the stuff that I draw. Like, I'd much rather make a design or help making the clothes or something, but then someone else wear it.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, so it's like my knowledge with it is like, I think I've mentioned before, but my mom makes clothes. So I know a lot of the process from that. And I also, like, my type of ASMR videos are watching people who make stuff. So I've watched a lot of people who are making cosplays or weapons or all kind of weird stuff. So I'm very familiar with the process and stuff. It's just never done it for myself, I guess.
It's very cool. Well, maybe one day. Maybe you can help somebody with a needle and thread cosplay. I'm just saying, everybody should be getting ideas about some cool costumes.
Please.
That's an excellent idea. What, and this is another like high school centric question. We're really diving into high school you. What was lunch like when you were in high school? We had bouncing chicken nuggets.
I mean, it's similar actually. The grossest pizza you can find.
Nice.
And like I think every day there were like mozzarella sticks that were basically just
you have to do that.
Yeah. there were some nondescript cheese in a batter that was fried.
Of course.
And then
very healthy.
There was not very many healthy options.
And were you a cafeteria kid or a lunch from home kid?
I became a cafeteria kid because I would always leave my lunch at home. I would consistently forget. So eventually my mom was just like, we're not doing this. Just go eat at school.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not going to keep wasting my time making it for you. Yeah, absolutely.
Understandable.
What about for you in high school? I know you had popular private school. So like it has to have been better than these mozzarella sticks.
Oh, from what I know, it was good, but I've literally never stepped foot in the cafeteria, so I have no idea.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, until like halfway through high school, I didn't even know we had a cafeteria.
So were you a lunch from home kid then?
Sometimes, but like most of the time, because I don't know what time school ends in America, but for us, like at noon, you were pretty much done. So most people would just wait and then we'd go across the street at the McDonald's.
Oh, that's so much better.
Much better. Yeah, no,
just go home and
like
eat, so.
3:30 p.m. here.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
So like
why?
Yeah.
Well,
why would you do that to yourself?
it's an excellent question.
It's not like we chose.
Yeah.
I would
Someone
choose to end at noon if I had the option.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so interesting. What time does school start for you then if you were out at noon?
It was around, oh God, like either 8 or 9.
Okay.
At one point when I was growing up, it was at 8, but at one point, I don't remember when, it was changed to 9.
I distinctly remember homeroom started at 7:50.
Oh God.
And we went till 3:15.
Wow.
Yeah, it's rough. I actually homeschooled for high school, so like none of my like timing stuff was correct. I went to public school and elementary school only. But yeah, the schools where I grew up were the exact same thing, where you're getting there at 7 and you're leaving at 3.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Dodge the bullet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we were definitely in a cafeteria every day.
Yeah. That is also interesting. Somebody in the chat points out that a lot of the school systems here were built around parents working as well. It's not great for the kids, but it was also about parents having the ability to go to work and pick their kids up after. A lot of like after school programs that keep them there till 5. Yeah. Stuff like that is a good observation from chat.
We have systems like that for when school starts usually, because mostly the hours were changed for the parents, because work, like an office job, tends to start around 9 here, or 8, 9, something like that, depends on the company. And so they made it so that you could drop your kid and then immediately go to school without having to waste an hour doing like, now what?
Yeah.
So, and after school, most people just went home and were like, okay, I'm on my own, I guess. So.
Yeah, okay, there's a balance there. And in high school, did the support systems that you had then impact how you've ended up now?
In what way?
Did you feel like you were encouraged and supported? Did it help empower you to kind of do what you do and be the creative that you are?
Yes, definitely. My teachers, because like I said, I used to draw in class a lot. And I think that most of my teachers learned pretty fast that I was 100% going to go into art. So they're very lenient, allowing me basically to draw in class and like just minding my own business basically. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure that helps a lot. You had a lot of time to practice.
Yeah, my poor math teacher.
What about for you, David?
I think as far as my teachers went, there was just always this running assumption that I would go into computers. So like anything like art related wasn't like looked down on, but it was kind of like, that's cool, but go do this other thing. But as far as like friends go, yeah, I would say that I can't really think of any who were like not supportive per se. I had friends that were maybe too excitable, like, hey, I'm going to try to do this thing. I was like, cool, I'll help you do it. I'm like, I didn't. Okay, I guess we're now both doing this thing. So, but that's a kind of, I guess, a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess like on the friend side, things were fine. On like the teachers and like, school counselors side of things, like it wasn't bad, but it was not like
not quite the friend group you're going to find a needle and thread.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not going to find that teacher.
No, that friend group is magic. It's anime level magic.
Yes.
It's definitely an anime level friend group. Well, diving back into needle and thread, what is your favorite part of the book?
Oh, I think I know. I have a favorite.
Then you can say, I don't know.
I don't know if it's a spoiler though. I don't think it's a spoiler.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to say it as spoiler free as I can.
Sure.
But
if anyone's allowed to spoil it, it's definitely you.
Yeah. There's a part where Hiroki and Azuri like run into each other at a party.
Yes, I love that.
And Azuri has, long story short, ditched Noah, and Hiroki for like the first time in the book like gets upset. But he gets upset because not necessarily because he's like, oh, you're an awful person, but he gets upset in terms of like, hey, Noah's my best friend, and I was really hoping he'd end up being like your best friend too. And he like storms out, and like that whole kind of like scene, that's probably my favorite. I don't know if that was too much, but
that was beautiful.
I said it. That's
great.
I think it's suspicious enough where it doesn't give away too much. It's okay.
Yeah. There's a lot to still figure out from that.
Conspicuous.
And what about you? Do you have a favorite part of the book?
Man, I have literally no idea. I think, let's say visually speaking, because, artists, I really like, there's a chapter that almost all of it happens on the phone. So all you see is like different phone screens and stuff. And that was extremely complicated, but also very fun to make. So I think that's a favorite.
Well, that's your favorite because writing that part of the graphic novel, like it took so much out of me. It was easily the hardest part to do in it, but I was happy with how it came out.
That's cool. That's so funny because you'd never know it if we didn't hear it from you, which is awesome. The fashion in the book. We referenced the fashion in the book. Like, come on. Come on. Now, I looked at this personally and I was like, damn, I wish I looked like that in high school. I wish I had that kind of clarity. Like, here I was in high school in an Ed Hardy t-shirt with like my absolutely disappeared eyebrows and my flat ironed hair and eyeliner. Would you consider yourself to have been like fashionable in high school, or did you dress anything like the characters?
Not in school, but outside of school, yeah, definitely.
Did you have uniforms?
I had the uniform, yeah.
Okay.
It was like the uniform was a shirt, and then you had to wear jeans or something like that. So mostly it was that, but like everyone in my class, like as soon as they were going out, it was like, okay, uniform up, t-shirt on.
Do you say that you think you were probably fashionable in high school?
Yeah, because I think I've just always had an interest in fashion. Mm-hmm. So I've always cared about how I dressed and stuff. So, translated.
Definitely not fashionable. Graphic tee, cargo shorts, and the most beat up ratty Converses or Vans I could possibly find.
That's not so bad.
That's a look.
Because it's like it's a look.
Very grunge.
It's not like anyone in needle and thread.
I feel like you played it safe by not making any huge mistakes that super date it. Because like kids could still wear that to high school now. That's true.
That is true. That's true.
I get so like intimidated looking at like teenagers on TikTok that are more fashionable than me. It hurts my feelings.
Like, where was that
and
when I was younger?
These kids are 15 and like got a whole look. They know exactly what they're doing. And like I feel like I could look at a picture of like the girl I wanted to dress like in high school and be like, okay, I'm gonna go do that, and come out looking completely different every time. I never was able to do that. So jealous. But
I still have time. It's like better late than never.
Right, exactly. Now I love fashion. In high school I did too. It was just really bad fashion. It was Juicy Couture at the time. It's what we were doing. I don't know, man. It was early 2000s, mid 2000s. It was a tough time for all of us.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
We don't talk about that fashion time.
Right. We don't talk about it. Who do you think would enjoy reading Needle and Thread?
Artsy kids? Nerds? Basically us.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyone who's like wanted to do something but had a group of people who were like, you should probably not do that thing. And you know, anyone who really enjoys story about just friendships and how friendships are kind of like made, you probably enjoy this. Well, hopefully we'll enjoy this.
Yeah, that's perfect. And what do you hope that they take away from it?
I think last time I said this, but just find good friends. Like that's pretty much, you know, find good friends and then just like do the thing that you want to do. Just at least go for it, try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also fight for the thing you want to do. Because like wanting to do it is one thing, but actually having the, I don't know, the energy to really do it and, you know, put yourself into it takes quite a bit of courage, especially when it's something that most people tell you is like, oh, you won't make anything out of this and stuff. So, you know, but if you really want to do it, you're going to do it and you're going to be successful doing it. So, you know, go for it.
All right. It is Q&A time. Y'all, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Let us know if you have anything else you'd like to know. After the Q&A, we will run our giveaway. I do have one here already from Bluebird Rules. They wanted to know if you've been inspired by any web comics for your work. Ooh. I know that you do a lot of web comics, Ennun.
Yeah. Oh man, I have so many. I want to say one comic and then maybe one web comic.
Okay.
So there is a web comic called, man, I don't know how to pronounce this, Cartufona.
Okay.
It's a weird name, by Shilin Huang. It's a fantasy story with witches and fairy tales and a lot of really fantasy epic stuff. They're LGBT, amazing character designs, great fashion, beautiful art. It's absolutely amazing. Please look it up. I'll write it in chat so people know the name of it.
Cool, yeah.
Later. And there's also a comic called Through the Woods, Into the Woods, something like that, by Emily Carroll, which is a horror comic compilation. It's like maybe 5 or so short comics, and they're absolutely gorgeous and amazing. Please read them. Thank you.
Very cool.
So webcomic wise, the one I probably read the longest, I admittedly haven't read it in a minute, though, was Stand Still, Stay Silent. That one was really good. Really, really, really good artwork. Comic wise, I don't know if these necessarily inspired for like Needle and Thread, but I am a huge fan of the Umbrella Academy.
Yes.
So that's probably my most read graphic novel or series. I reread every volume like multiple times a year. So
you stand Gerard way in this house.
Yeah, it's so good. I love it so much. So that's probably my go-to when I think about like an inspiration from like comics. There's just so much weirdness to it and so much like fun, even though it gets really like dark and absurd.
Cool. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, we have so many good questions from chat. My goodness. Okay, the first one that I'm just going to go to here, even though we could easily answer this in chat, this is a great opportunity to promo. Where can one find the book?
At your local bookstore.
There you go. Comic
Also
shop and
online.
bookstore.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can get it on the Mad Cave Studios website. There is, of course, a link right there in the chat that you should check out, or you might win one by entering the giveaway today.
Yes, we have
Quite a few ways. If you were to choose one character's fashion from the book to wear yourself, who would it be?
I want to say Azuri, because I don't have the same body type, so there's certain clothes that I can't wear, and I am so jealous. So yeah. Otherwise, I honestly already wear all those clothes.
Nice. What about for you, David?
I mean, I guess I don't know if it's the easy answer, but Noah. I mean,
yeah,
he's the one that's making all the fashionable things. Though there's been several things that Hiroki would wear that I'd be like, I want that in my closet.
Hiroki has a really cool fashion style.
Somewhere between those two.
Shan Manor wants to know if you could do a spin-off comic based on any side character, who would you pick?
Hiroki.
I figured it was gonna be Hiroki. Yeah.
Please, David, let's do it.
Like I said before, if we want this, if Chris says yes, hands down, I will do it.
Chris, where are you?
Yeah. I really do hope when people read this, I'm really hoping they actually like Hiroki, because we've really talked him up, but he's just so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Avery Kaplan wants to know, what is your favorite cosplay you've ever seen, IRL?
Cosplay.
I know. So I went to, I think this was at San Diego Comic Con. There was someone cosplaying as Optimus Prime, but with lights and rubber wheel, it looked like it came out of the movie, right? It was
That's so cool.
It had all this motion, the face mask, it moved and whatnot. There's a lot of wirings and lights and sounds and everything. That one was probably one of the coolest that I've seen.
That's awesome. That is so cool. I envy to my core people who can build stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. We also have Hiroki College Adventure when, right?
Yes.
It's just an email away from Chris. So
we're all in for it. Bluebird Rules also asked, are there any kind of inside references or little Easter eggs in the comic that people might not notice?
Oh, I put so many.
Yeah, look at the background of any shot.
Ooh, do tell. What do we got? At least one or two.
Oh, one or two. Okay, I'll say two things.
Okay.
There's at one point, close to the end of the comic, they go to a convention. There's a lot of characters for games and anime and stuff in there. So have fun looking for those.
Nice.
And throughout almost every chapter where I could put it in, there's images from Critical Role.
No way.
Yes.
That's so interesting.
I literally put them everywhere, and I was kind of on a game with myself, because I was gonna see when Chris was gonna tell me to stop. But he always noticed them. Absolutely every single time I put a new chapter, he was like, "Oh, Critical Role."
Someone's got to get this book in Matt's hands.
That'd be awesome.
Please, that would be pretty cool.
Y'all, you know what to do. The chat knows what to do. That's awesome. That's such a cool Easter egg. Something to look out for if you get your hands on the book, which you most certainly should. Let's give one away. And a mystery item. Woo. I love this. We've never done a mystery item before. So what should be our keyword for the giveaway?
David can pick a word, because I picked one another time.
What? The keyword. I'm just gonna look around my office.
I spy.
Paper shredder.
Paper shredder.
There we go.
You got it. That's your entry. It is going to be paper shredder. I'm going to type it in chat so y'all get it. Moz, is it okay if it's 2 words?
If it needs to be 1 word, it can be. How about coaster?
Wait, You really are just like looking around,
Yeah,
you know.
Captain Marvel coaster.
Oh, I love the
what you
Captain
gotta
Marvel
do.
coaster. What all do we have on the behind you there on the wall?
What do we have? We have a lot of Sonic.
Nice.
Drawn by my friend. We got
Hey,
some
nice.
Spider-Man, some more Spider-Man, Power Ranger stuff over here. Bunch of comics down there. Don't look.
Oh, okay, we can fit it as one word just in case. Okay, we'll do paper shredder as one word. Then I'm just gonna copy pasta it in the chat so y'all get it for reference, so you see what it is. Everybody, now type paper shredder, all one word, just like the Mad Cave Studios channel did. To enter your giveaway. A reminder, it is only unfortunately available to US residents for shipping reasons. I know, heartbreaking, truly. But you can still get your hands on the book even if you don't win today, of course, on the website at your local bookstore. So very exciting. I love this. I had such a wonderful time reading. Needle and Thread is an absolute gem. There's so many good feelings and relatable feelings in it. So it's an absolute delight. Thank you for coming and sharing it with us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. And hopefully, whenever you guys read it, hopefully you like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And if they want to continue following you on your journey, where can they find you? We'll start with you, David.
Pretty much my everything goes to my website, davidpinckney.com. So I post scripts that I work on there, and just anything I'm kind of like doing. So that's probably the easiest, most succinct place.
That's awesome. Is there anything else they should keep an eye out for right now?
So I am working on a couple of projects, not comic related, but I'm working on a board game. I don't know if that'll ever see the light of day. But
love board games.
A narrative-based one. We'll see what happens, and that's kind of where I'm focusing my time, and some short film scripts.
Nice. That's so exciting. All right. Well, be sure to head over to his website to keep an eye out for those. Very exciting. And Ennun, what about for you?
You can find me on Twitter at Iurov, as it's typed down here. And pretty much every link to everything that I have is on Twitter. So, pinned tweet, go there.
Yeah, absolutely. And go check out more of your art, of course. Is there anything else? I know you have webcomics and stuff. Anything else that they should be looking out for?
I'm working on something, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Okay, we still got secrets. So that means just go follow on Twitter, and they'll have something to share with you very, very soon, which is very exciting. Yes. I know that you said you post art sometimes. You do like draw your style challenges.
Oh,
so there's plenty to go see.
I post art all the goddamn time. I never shut up on Twitter.
That's great. That's wonderful. That means they get to see you even when you're not here. The name is Shovel. Congratulations on that win. I'm sorry, that's a person in Denmark. Yes. We're going to re-roll it. It happens every time. It's like the automatic roller. It just knows. Nightbot knows how to spot somebody who can't get it shipped to them. Sorry about that. We will re-roll it really quick for the giveaway copy of it. We're going to play the trailer one more time on the way out as we say goodbye to y'all. Are there any takeaway thoughts for Needle and Thread? Any last yelling at people to go pick it up or a reason they should?
It's fun and we worked hard. Please go buy it. Thank you.
There we go.
Exactly that. It's fun. We definitely put in a lot of hard work, and it's a feel-good story. So everyone needs to feel good.
Okay, we have a new winner. John G. Men, congratulations. You have won a copy of Needle and Thread and a mystery item. I can't tell you what it is. I have no idea. That's very cool. I'm going to play y'all the trailer really quick, and I will be back in just a moment to wrap this up. All right?
Yo, this is your boy, Hiroki, coming at you live from Green Lake High. At the top of the food chain, we got Azuri. She has the dopest clothes, the coolest friends. She's even the head cheerleader. I mean, this girl's got it all. Then there's my guy Noah. He's definitely not at the top of the food chain, but he's my best friend. He likes to do weird stuff like watch old monster movies, read comics. My man even sews his own clothes. Crazy, right? He's got this dream of working in film, making costumes. I don't know. Could be kinda cool. But his parents don't seem to dig it. I know he's applying for Stonewell anyway. Hope he gets in. I just don't want to see my boys sad, you know? Like, it's senior year. It's supposed to be the best year of our lives. Anyway, I gotta get to class. Hiroki out.
All right, y'all. How much fun was that? And the VO on that is so delightful, isn't it? It's such a great trailer. Congratulations to our giveaway winner, and thank you to all of you for showing up and hanging out with us today. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for coming and experiencing some really cool and talented creatives with me once again. Of course, we do this show every Wednesday, currently at 11 a.m. Pacific. There will be a time change coming up that we will update you all on very, very soon, so keep an eye out for that, of course. You can follow Mad Cave on all of the social media platforms, over on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, you know what to do, Instagram. Go to the website, check out what else they have to offer. It's very, very cool of you. We do have some things in preview this week and available for pre-order. We have The Last Session, issue 1, which we talked about here. It's a fun little kind of D&D inspired adventure. We have Wolvenheart, issue 9, Bountiful Garden, issue number 4, Battle Cats, volume 3, issue 6, and the graphic novel Nightmare in Savannah. Most of those you have seen somebody from the creative team come here and chat about, which is why we are so lucky to get to do this stream every week and get to know the people behind the scenes on that. A huge thank you to the Mad Cave team. Of course, as always, Allison, Miguel, Manny, Frank, Mark, Gio, and the rest of the Mad Cave crew. Y'all make this possible, and we appreciate it so very much. Thank you to all of you for hanging out. Of course, go and follow our guests today. Very cool of them to stop by and spend the time on their release day. So make sure to go and show a little bit of support. Our next show will be next Wednesday, of course, at 11 a.m. Pacific. We will be having 2 lovely guests on. We have author Mario Candelaria and colorist Luca Romano on to talk about Weft in the Horror Anthology coming this October, Grim Tales from the Cave, which was one of the first books we talked about with me here. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. Of course, I'm around, and I appreciate you all very much. Thank you to everybody from my lovely community who showed up to hang out with us today. And all of you, have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, friends.